Text messaging. Such a simple thing to do with very little problems with it, yet creating a huge problem with the major storyline in WWE right now. More on that in a minute. First, welcome to John's Wrestling Views. I'm your host, John. Thanks for tuning in. Just a couple things right off the bat. Night of Champions coming up here before too long. The idea of the pay-per-view being every title's on the line. That's the card lineup, is all title matches. So what can we be expecting for Night of Champions? 2 matches pretty much signed so far. On SmackDown Friday, Christian, I guess, still hurt from his no-holds-barred match with Randy Orton at SummerSlam. So who's the new #1 contender for Orton's freshly won world title? Well, it's determined by a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal, in which Mark Henry wins. Mark Henry and Randy Orton, Night of Champions for the world title. But this Friday, Mark Henry will be put to the test once again, taking on Sheamus one-on-one, as in their match at SummerSlam ended in a count-out. Let's see how things may be different this Friday. One would presume, though, Mark Henry will probably be the victor, knowing he's the one in the championship picture now. The other championship match we know of so far, the WWE Championship. Last night on Raw, there was a #1 contender match between CM Punk and John Cena, both legit reasons to be in that match. Both are former champions, technically needing to use their rematch clause. Kevin Nash and Triple H went at it earlier in the show, and Kevin Nash pretty much just left. It looked like they weren't on the best of terms. Kevin Nash not a wrestler, Triple H reminding him that Nash hitting CM Punk when CM Punk wasn't expecting it. Triple H stated, you can't be doing that. You don't work here. You don't work here. All because of a text message that Kevin Nash received at SummerSlam to powerbomb CM Punk after beating John Cena. There's still the mystery going on in wrestling right now. The question being, who sent that text message if Triple H claims he doesn't do it? Triple H still could have sent it. Maybe he's lying. Who knows? But fingers kind of pointed more when John Laurinaitis later on in the show told Triple H that Nash was in a car accident in Canada. Didn't know how bad it was or how good it was, whatever, or how Nash's condition was. And he said, let me take care of the rest of the show. Go ahead and take care of your buddy. Triple H leaves. John Laurinaitis comes out for the main event match between John Cena and CM Punk, and then Del Rio was out there as well to see who he's going to be defending a championship against. And Nash shows up when CM Punk's in the driver's seat. Nash shows up, distracting Punk. Cena hits the attitude adjustment on him and gets a win. John Cena will face Del Rio at Night of Champions for the championship. And then, of course, Del Rio ambushed Cena afterwards, and Laurinaitis was involved. Obviously, he's got some sort of play in the picture. Maybe if Nash really did receive a text message, it was definitely sent from the Vice President of Talent Relations, as in Mr. John Laurinaitis. A lot going on. I'm going to go and get some other viewpoints of what's going on. I'll be back with you soon. And joining me at this time is Zach Cole. Zach Cole's a pretty big CM Punk fan, if I could say so myself. Zach, if you want to come over here. So, what's your thoughts of the direction that's kind of going on between John Laurinaitis and CM Punk and Kevin Nash at this time, and Triple H as well?
Well, at the moment, I really think that what they are doing with the Laurinaitis thing is it's going to be CM Punk with Kevin Nash at probably the next couple pay-per-views, if not just one pay-per-view. And then the Laurinaitis thing could just be with just Triple H. It's him keeping control away from Triple H. And it's going to be I think really it could be Triple H fighting Laurinaitis or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But the way that's going right now is they're throwing a lot of curves with Del Rio winning, even though he was the favorite to win Money in the Bank. Because Raw really didn't have much because of John Morrison going out. But I really think Del Rio, that should last a little bit, but not too long. Because if he's still champion at WrestleMania, I don't know what's going on. But with Laurinaitis, I think it could just be, he's just keeping Triple H in check and keeping the whole what McMahon is doing under control. Because with McMahon, he didn't really like CM Punk at all. And Laurinaitis is just keeping Punk from being champ again, which I don't really like at all, because his gimmick is he's the best in the world.
So with that said, John Laurinaitis has been with, according to what he said on Raw a couple weeks ago, he has been working for the WWE for about 10 years now, alongside Vince McMahon, just recently getting promoted to Vice President of Talent Relations, or whatever his position is, taking over from JR. Do you think we're going to see a lot of him on TV, or is it just going to be a phase and he'll die off and just go back to behind the scenes?
It could be. I'm hoping it's a phase and he just goes back to being behind the scenes, but right now it's, in all reality, the WWE needed stuff like this with the fact that they just needed they just needed something to happen, because before it was getting really, really bland, but now they're they throw surprises in at every show. They're like, what could possibly go wrong? What could possibly happen here? And with Kevin Nash coming in SummerSlam, nobody really expected it at all, because I wasn't, okay, Kevin Nash of all people, I was expecting Triple H to screw over, one of them, and he kind of did with John Cena, but because he didn't grant John Cena the rematch, but with Laurinaitis coming in and saying, Kevin Nash, the whole thing with Kevin Nash was a complete and total, just surprise. And with him coming back and doing it, I really think they're setting up for something really big. Hopefully something for a future pay-per-view that could be good enough, that just hopefully it's good. Because with the surprises, it's nobody really knows. It's hard to predict now.
Yeah. And that's what I've been mentioning here lately too, is, this time of year, normally throughout the year, it's just kind of, it's not necessarily bland, but it's not the utmost exciting, as it'd be when we're on the road to WrestleMania. And I think, not just with having the idea that Cena and The Rock will be at WrestleMania and everybody knowing about that, but they're really finding other ways to really push ratings, at least on the Raw side of WWE. And I think, having everything mystery and all these surprises is a good thing. And I'm assuming you can agree with that. It's just, It's the unexpected, and it's those jaw-dropping moments. CM Punk's promo at the end of Raw a month or two ago, that kind of stuff, and it really what draws in. Real quickly then, Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston winning the tag team titles last night on Raw against Michael McGillicuddy and David Otunga. Your thoughts, could this be really starting to reboot the tag team division? Or?
Probably not with the tag team, because it's hard to focus on, because what they're doing now is they're focusing more on the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship, whereas the U.S. Championship and the Intercontinental, they gave Cody Rhodes the Intercontinental Championship because he deserved a title, because of the fact that he has done so much right now, and with Ezekiel Jackson and Wade Barrett, that whole thing, is that they needed someone new, and Cody Rhodes not having a title was kind of a good, it's boosting him up and giving him the push that he deserves. And with Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston winning the tag championships, I think it's one of those things that Evan Bourne deserves a championship, because he's not, the best, slam, whatever, but he's entertaining to watch because he's quick, and he's just, overall, he's a good technician. He can move around quick, and he can take down the big guys too, I really. And Kofi Kingston deserves gold again, because, well, I'm a Dolph Ziggler's, but Kofi deserves at least some recognition for the stuff that, his ability. But I think the tag team, it's just hard to focus on other things right now with with the WWE Championship more or less, because like you have in all reality you have a three-way battle for the WWE Championship, and that's with John Cena, CM Punk, and Alberto Del Rio. But you also have those random the random people like R-Truth and
Miz.
Yes, where they have like that battle between those, like not those five, because they're kind of pushing away R-Truth with his I don't know, his gimmick is really weird. It's kind of cool though, it's funny. And the Miz, the Miz overall is just he had his moment, and he just needs to go away for a little bit, and it's really hard to focus on everything else that happened on Raw without anything being, because right now I think it's just going to be a lot of mentioning about what's going to happen with the WWE Championship.
Definitely.
But with the Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne winning the tag team champions, it was needed because, McGillicuddy and Otunga are just not that great of wrestlers at all.
Alright.
But I think with Sin Cara coming back, I think he could be a force with a couple people, but right now I think a lot of the focus is going to be on what's going to happen with the WWE Championship, because the World Heavyweight Championship, it's not that big of a deal. Randy Orton has it again. He's going to have it again and again, and really because SmackDown doesn't have much. They don't have a lot of people. They have Randy Orton and Mark Henry's making his push, but I just don't see a lot of the focus right now is going to be on the WWE Championship. So I think what they're doing with the Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne thing is giving them a chance to wrestle elsewhere where they can get their notoriety for their quickness. And this could set up something really good for Sin Cara. And I don't know who would be his tag partner, but I think Sin Cara should eventually get something, because he's botched a couple of things, but he also doesn't have, I think him and Evan Bourne was a really good match at, People's Choice, the People's Choice show.
Oh, it ended up being Raw Roulette, but yes.
Yeah. And that was really good, because it was, Sin Cara has the ability that Evan Bourne has, and they have, it was the speed of the match that kept it entertaining, and it was high flying too. And that's what wrestling back with WCW was really good, was the fact that there was just so much, there's just so much flying and stuff like that, and that's what they need to bring back a little bit. At least not a cruiserweight division, but a division. That's the tag. I think the tag team title should be that kind of division, just a joint division.
All right. And there you have it. Once again, thanks for tuning in. I'm John. Have a good one.